Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. I'd like to thank everyone for stopping by to see my first chapter review of my hero Vigilantes, chapter 91. Now this is my first ever chapter review on the channel, so bear with me. There will be some bumps and some hiccups, but we can get through this. I mean, as well, I do want to mention I did have to have a reread of the chapter because well, it's been a while since I last read the chapter 90, so I had to have a recap so I could remember everything that was going on. Now, in the last chapter, chapter 90, we had Knuckleduster going up against an unknown assailant who had just entered the fight club in the midst of this massive brawl that had taken place because of our favourite bunny hero, Miruko. Now, as well, in the midst of this massive brawl, Kurogiri, who, if you're up to date with the main series, you know his true identity, has used his quirk to enter the fight club, and I don't know if this is a part of his quirk or maybe it's this separate chemical or it's a quirk or it's a ability of all for one, but this mysterious gas has seeped into the room and he started to strip the other fighters of their quirks, and this is a fight club, so a lot of these people have some pretty solid battle ready quirks. Not they haven't got who has it? It's not a bunch of compass kids here. Like, these people are like fighters who train day in and day out with their quirks. They're not heroes, but I'm pretty sure they could give many pro heroes a run for their money, as we saw with Rappa against Knuckleduster in the chapter 89. No, I believe it's chapter 89 or 88. You can correct me if I'm wrong. But without further ado, I believe that is. I mean, that's the main gist of what happened in the last chapter. I mean, if you guys if you guys want, feel free to reread yourselves, because as again, it was a quick read through for me just so I'm caught up to date, so I don't forget anything or ask a question when it was already mentioned in the previous. So without further ado, let's get started. So chapter 91. Okay, wow. As I said, we have Knuckleduster going up against this hooded figure. I'm placing my bets now. It's all for one. I mean, if I'm wrong, buy my subscribers all a pizza. so see the hooded figure. I'm just gonna say all for one until I'm proven otherwise. Throws a straight right hand, and okay, from the look of it, it seems like he's using some sort of quirk ability. It seems like he's stretching his arm, so some sort of elastification, some elasticity quirk maybe, because as we know, All for One has a ton of quirks under his belt, so it could be one quirk, it could be a combination of 3 or 4 different quirks for all we know. But he throws I'd say it looks like from the angle a straight right hand toward Knuckleduster, but as you know, Knuckleduster in the current chapter, he still has his quirk, and as we know, he's no slouch. I don't think as we know, he's not at All for One level. He's not at that All Might level of strength, but he can throw down with the best of them. Well, but Knuckleduster sees the attack coming, slips it, hits the wall behind him, and just shatters it. He shatters the wall. All for One just shatters the wall behind him, but Knuckleduster with OClock, he slips it like it's nothing. And it's funny because you see in the background the other people in the fight club, the other fighters, the spectators, they're all just they're losing it at what's going on, because they don't know this is all for one. This is the main bad of the main series, just stepping out right now. Like I said, if I'm wrong, if it's not All for One, it turns out to be someone else. All my subscribers get a pizza, but everyone is just losing their ish. I mean, to be honest, you would too. And from the looks of it, it seems like he's just taking out an entire wall. Okay. Again, we see the hooded figure. He's ready. He's ready for OClock, and he's ready. He's got the guard up. He's looking to tango, and we see Miruko and Rappa in the background. And Miruko says, you okay, Mister, to OClock. And here OClock does mention that this person is no joke. This hooded guy, all for one, is no joke. He now OClock being the type of person he is, he tells the other two, Rapha and Miruko, to back off, that he's got this. Ooh, actually, I think I may owe you guys a pizza. Ooh, what a pain. Okay, this must. Okay, maybe I do owe you guys a pizza. I think I may owe you guys a pizza. Because it cuts to the next panel, and we see Kurogiri, and again, no spoilers, but if you know his backstory, pray for Kurogiri. That's what I'm gonna say. Pray for Kurogiri. But it seems like we have Kurogiri, and again, now this person looks like it actually could be all for one. So I was actually wrong on this one. Surprise, surprise. But yeah, again, the way they're setting this out, it still could be anyone. The hooded guy could be all for one, possibly. Maybe using using multiple quirks, but then we have the next shot here in the office, and again, all we see is Kurogiri. You can clearly make out it's him, but the person he's talking to, like, all you see is the chin. So all you see is the chin, and that's it. You can't see any more facial features. So, as we know, that's often how all for one was shown before we got a full show of him in series 2, I believe. No, yeah, and again, okay. I'll just say this another unknown figure, because again they're hiding a lot of things today in this chapter. But the hooded figure says it's the title fight, and we can't even see it. Now this is Kurogiri. Given how many cameras were destroyed, our perspective is quite limited. The pillars, partitions, even the spectators are spoiling my view. Maybe I should clear the arena myself. I would not advise it. So this is Kurogiri saying a lot of the cameras were destroyed, so we can't get a good view of OClock versus. Okay, I guess the hooded figure may be like a test Onomu, because that was my original thought before, but I thought it might be all for one, because as remember, OClock lost his quirk again, fighting some unknown individual, and we all said it was all for one. Most people in the community thought it's all for one. But what Kurogiri is suggesting is that he goes down there himself and tries to clear the arena. But again, the person he's talking to is advising him against that for whatever reason. You tell me. Because it would make sense for Kurogiri, especially with his quirk. It would be just like zip down, bam, 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 clear out a bunch of people like that. Because we all know Kurogiri's skill with his quirk is like unmatched. He's the League of Villains, like transport. He is the linchpin when it comes to getting them to and from places. So a simple task like that. But then we have this. Okay, so it seems like we have Kurogiri saying, as of this moment, there is no more than this is no more than an underground fight club riot. Any further escalation will draw the authorities' attention and possibly summon him to the scene. So basically, I believe this was Kurogiri speaking, or perhaps the person he was talking to. Again, the panels sometimes make it a bit hard to tell who's reading, but judging, it sounds like it was Kurogiri saying that there's no point him going down there and getting involved, because to anyone else it's just a fight. It's a fight club riot, and you don't want to bring the authorities to the scene, which is weird. Well, I guess they don't know the police are outside currently, as we found out in the last chapter. They are on a stakeout alongside Knuckleduster, but also it would bring the number one hero, All Might, to the scene, and well, they don't want that. They don't want that beef. Who would? think the person Kogu is talking to, it has to be all for one now. I mean, he's even ranting. He's ranting about All Might. You can see it now. Him. It's always him. The constant thorn in my side. My own personal. What did I say? My own personal bugbear. No idea what a bugbear is. It doesn't sound very pleasant. Well, no matter. For today, I'll settle for just the 2 or 3 missing persons. Ooh. So this is the chapter where OClock loses his quirk then, definitely. But Miruko and Rappa, I don't think they lose their quirk, because in the main series, there's never been any hint that any of them had even had it, where they even had an interaction where they could have lost their quirks or anything like that. But as we found out in the spoilers for the main series, that quirks can be taken and duplicated and even put back into the same person. So a person in this universe can have their quirk taken from them, it can be copied, and they then can be given a copy of their original quirk. So maybe Miruko this whole time had a copy of her original quirk and she never knew. And Rappa, I mean, again, with everything that we've learned in the main series, that what I'm saying right now is, I'd give it a good 60%. I'd give it a good 60% that is what's going to happen then. But as I said, let's keep going. So the hooded man is blocking our way out of here, and he's back. And he's packing fast destructive attacks with insane reach. So this is OClock. He's analysing the hooded figure. Ooh, I do like the stance the hooded figure's taking. It's sort of this like, it's like a Muay Thai stance. Anyone who does Muay Thai will, because he's standing on the one leg. He's got the knee raised, then his arms like so. It's very reminiscent of a Muay Thai kickboxing style. So when my hero Vigilantes gets animated, this fight will look dope. So he's still analysing him. It's not like he's opening up folded joints or dislocating them. His limbs actually transform their core structure as they stretch out. So again, it's this guy with some sort of elastication quirk where he can alter his body. Because as OClock said, it's not like he's opening up or folding joints. He's literally changing his body. So that's why I originally thought this person was all for one, because all for one could do that type of stuff with his body like it was nothing. But anyway, back to it. Cellular I don't know what that word is, propagation at lightning speed that lets him heal his body, alter its structure, and bulk up on the fly. OClock says that's one wild card of a quirk, and again, with what we know, this is probably a Onomu, so this poor person's probably been experimented on. They don't even probably know who they are or where they are. So a powerful quirk, but anyone knows the Onomus are essentially husks, like just walking corpses, and that's actually what Onomu means in Japanese, I believe. Roughly translated to like corpse or body. Again, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm currently learning Japanese slowly. So what's with this whole martial arts vibe, some kind of memory? No, these moves are clearly drilled into his muscle memory. Okay, so again, OClock, again, he's a pro hero, been at this for years, so his analytical skills are up there. I'd say where he is right now, I'd say his analysing skills are better than Eraserhead's, based on how fast, just due to his quirk and how fast he can break down the situation, figure out what's going on. But I like that OClock mentions about the martial arts vibe, because the hooded Onomu, who again, there's so much spoilers, but that's the problem with talking about the Vigilante series, because so much what happens here ties into the main series and vice versa, so it's hard not to talk about one without the other. But Spoilers if you're not up to date with season 3, season 4 of the anime, where Endeavor has this big fight against Onomu, and we find out that Onomu was actually a underground fighter. So it's like the people we see in this fight club now, and he was taken, repurposed again. I don't think the Nomus are killed necessarily, but they just get experimented on heavily, or they will experiment on a corpse and revive it and give it a bunch of these quirks and just make them subservient to All for One. Ooh. To be fair, there's a lot more reading in this chapter than I thought there would have been, because I thought this chapter would have been just straight action, but I'm pleasantly surprised. It's got a nice mixture. It's got, because you get to see things from Knuckleduster's point of view, him analysing him. Too bad for him, his fighting style ain't compatible with that extreme quirk. Ooh. So OClock again, his quirk allows him to speed. I believe his quirk allows him to speed up the synapses or processes in his brain, so he can think and perceive things a lot faster. So he's already discovered that the hooded figure's fighting style is not working for him. Bulking up shifts his body weight off balance and screws up his center of gravity. Okay, so I guess they're making yourself bigger, otherwise will make it harder for you to keep balance, making every step feel uninspired. Okay. While his actual attacks are swift, his wind-ups tend to lag. Whatever fighting style he started with is totally spoiled. Meanwhile, my own quirk, OClock, is perfection for exploiting an opponent's delayed reactions, which, not a lie, again, OClock, again, he's confident in his abilities, and if you're as big of a fan of OClock as me, I have no doubt that he's gonna come through with this fight with this hooded figure. I just think All for One will pop up, and yeah. But anyway, OClock, he prepares his knife. He goes down to swing, takes the blade, and he slices the left arm. He slices the hooded figure's left arm, slices his muscles and tendons. OClock's thinking, I can predict his every action and even feint to create an opening. Just what I said, that's what he does. Creates an opening, slices up the guy's muscles and tendons, but it doesn't seem to do anything. The wound seemed just healed. So the guy's just had his arm sliced with OClock's a Bowie knife, and it hasn't done a thing. I'm not even close to a lethal strike, and those wounds will heal within seconds. But as long as I'm doing damage, he'll be held in place. Since my own breathing is hampered, I can only keep this up for 12 seconds. Ooh, wow, 10 to 12 seconds. So, seems like OClock's gonna. It seems like this may be a battle of attrition, but if the hooded figure's got this healing quirk, then it looks like he may actually outlast OClock. I don't think the hooded figure is the one that's going to take him out. I think All for One will come and finish the job, but he's going to rope-a-dope him. The hooded figure is rope-a-doping OClock, and it's sad to see. It's sad to see, guys. Getting good now. Woo, shit. Sorry about the language, but Miruko has just popped up now. She's darting through the crowd. She's trying to make her way to OClock. Oh, no. She's getting out there. She. Oh my, no. Yeah, she's running for the door, because, yeah, she just darted for the door. Miruko has just left. She's left OClock to fight that guy. But to be fair, OClock did tell her to stay out of it, so... and she's in high school, and she will get in trouble if she gets caught there, so I guess I can't blame her. I guess. but she's darted for the door, and it says Bunny on the run, and I believe that's the hooded figure saying that, and he just turns, stretches the arm out, uses that elastification quirk, whatever ability he has, straight toward Bunny Girl. Oh, and actually he's not only has he stretched it, he, as OClock mentioned, he can make his arm bigger, so it looks like the size of my bed. I don't know if you can really see my bed in the background, but his hand looks like the width and size of my bed, and he's just going for Bunny Girl. Bunny Girl, but I mean, this is the spin-off, so this happened before the main series, so I know she's not in too much trouble. Seems he's manipulating his hand as well, he's turning it into these like razor sharp talons and claws. But OClock is why I love this guy. You can't take your eye off OClock and think, it's OClock. Oh, who's it? This is OClock. He wasn't it. I'm pretty sure he was like the number 2 hero at some point before All Might stepped on the scene. So like, give this man some respect. But OClock steps back up. Forget about me. And me. This is Rappa. I believe it's Rappa. It's Rappa. And he comes in with a barrage of punches. He's turned the hooded guy into a body bag. The hooded body bag is now his new name. The hooded body bag, because Rappa is he is wearing him out. He's wearing him in. Unfortunately, that's given Miruko just enough chance to slip away. Ooh. I do love reading this chapter. It's been a while since I've read this, so it's just so much fun. Okay, so Miruko's back with Rappa. Okay, what's plan B then? Okay, so Miruko, she as we know, Miruko, she's a brawler. Miruko's bae, thick thighs, knows how to fight. Miruko's bae. But yeah, our backup plan in case an unexpected threat shows up down here. What we're supposed to run? Rappa, as you know, he again straight brawler, tells it like it is. He's not the type to run. Do I look like a guy who's running? And then what? Get word to the cops outside. Normally I'd want them backing this up. This is Knuckleduster again. But the squad won't fare well against an opponent who's already given me trouble. He's got a point. OClock has a point. Because this hooded guy is no joke. He's no joke. And summoning heroes with the ideal abilities to deal with specific enemies can take time. Again, OClock is in a bit of a pickle, but I mean he's handling himself. I don't feel like he's on the back foot at this point anyway, especially with Miruko and Rappa helping. But a few more pages left. You never know. So again, Rappa is asking what the plan is. Okay, and OClock again, he's the tactician. He, like I said, I believe right now, currently in the Vigilantes manga, he's a better strategist than Aizawa. We play our ultimate card. Okay. Let's see what this ultimate card is. Okay. Miruko's just jumped out the building. She just leapt out the fight club, or she been thrown. It looks like she just darted out the front door and just leaped away. And okay, the police are outside. They're shocked to see this schoolgirl in a bunny luchador outfit just leap into the sky. So someone just bursts out the garage. A kid. He looks like a student. What's with the mask? Okay, so that's the police. Like I said, they're shocked. Anyone would be. Yo, is there Tanuma around here? Can a message from old Scuffy get down here? Oh, got a message from for you from Old Scruffy. This is Miruko talking to Tanuma. Tanuma, that's the name of the detective leading the whole underground fights thing. He says, "Call you know who. Call number one. We need All Might." Oh, holy sh! Oh, that's the end of the chapter. That's the end of the chapter. I mean, I need a second, because, yeah, so, I mean, that's the end of chapter 91. Miruko's escaped from the garage. She's went straight to Detective Tanuma, Officer Tanuma. I'm not sure what his credentials are, but the police officer in charge of this whole thing. And she just said, call All Might. So we're gonna... So next chapter, chapter 92, we could potentially see... Well, we'll be seeing All Might step onto the scene. And if All Might turns up, and we already know All for One is watching, then could we get another All for One All Might fight? I mean, it seems unlikely, but I mean, if Knuckleduster's calling in for All Might, then I don't see any reason why All for One wouldn't step in. But it was a bit